Hello, wonderful people. Hello, guys. You all are welcome back once again. This is Constant World. If it's the first time you're coming across this channel, you are highly welcome. So, my wonderful people, it is here that will bring update to you and also react to it as it is in this our country, Nigeria. I don't really know what would the poor, what would the layman do if the rich are be treated this way. My people, let's watch this video and we'll come back to round it up. Let's watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to narrate exactly what happened on the 26th of December 2021. You all know very well that I buried my mom on the 22nd of December 2021. And on the 26th, we came for outing service. The church started around 11:30. While the church service was still going, some military men were sighted outside, and I asked my PA, oh, maybe it's one of the VIP that came for the memorial, this church service of my mom. Then I asked them, please, if there is anybody that is outside, they should bring the person in if it is a VIP. Before they could come back, I saw masked police, I don't even know, masked policemen. I thought they, because there is no sign to show that they are police. More than 15 of them invaded inside the church premises. And they cocked their gun and say, Oga, move, come out, we're looking for you. I said, what is the problem? What have I done? One of them came and hit my back and said, if you don't stand up now, before you, I could even say, what is the problem? They went up to the altar and cocked their gun and pointed it at me. I said, what is the problem? One now dragged me up. I said, tell me what I've done. Before you know, they started shooting. The church members, the parish priest, everybody was running helter-skelter inside church. They shot, and then dragged me like a criminal inside the church when church service was going on and brought me out. When they brought me out, my orderly and my policeman was trying to find out from them, where are you people from? They were not telling us where they are from, because all of them were in their face, they were all masked. There is nothing to identify them. Apart from some of the vehicles that brought them, where my boys and so many people identified that those vehicles came from government house, Imo State government house. So they dragged me, tore my clothes, beat me up, threw me inside one of the van that came with them, one white van that came with them, and asked me to lie on the floor of the van. And one of them used his leg, hit me, put his leg on top of me, and said I should keep quiet. He took my picture while inside the van and sent it to somebody. And spoke in Hausa, Muntura picture. They never knew that I hear Hausa. So on the way, at Njaba, they stopped. And one of them, that also was wearing mask, now asked me, cocked his gun, and said, Oga, go down. I said, what have I done? He said, Oga, go down. For me, I thought I was going to be eliminated at that point, at Njaba. He said, Oga, go down. He cocked his gun. I was telling him, please, what have I done? What have I done? He now pushed me outside and dragged me to another vehicle in front, another Ford Jeep in front, and they pushed me inside the Ford, and they started speeding up to Owerri. When we got to Owerri, they moved towards the Okigwe Road. At government house, I was looking for the back. I was turning and looking at my back. The three remaining vehicles now diverted towards government house. Then that one that I was inside continued all the way to Okigwe Road. I was asking them, where are you taking me? What have I done? They said, Oga, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk. So I kept quiet. We drove all the way to Hangana. I asked them again, where are we going? They refused to talk to me. When we got to Okigwe, I said, where are we going? They refused to talk. When we now set going towards Enugu, I said, tell me where we are going. If I was going to be killed, tell me, so that I know that I was going to be eliminated. They didn't say anything. On the road, one of them that was in front received a call. I saw the call. The name on the phone was Shaba. Then he told him in Hausa, Muna tare da shi karka damu, muna kan hanya. Karka damu, mun kama shi karka damu koi. Oga muna tare, muna san. That means we've caught him and we're on our way. So at a point, because I speak Hausa, I decided to ask them, Menai, what did I do? Why people did this to me? They now looked at me and they continued their journey. They took me all the way from Owerri until we got to Enugu. When we got closer to Enugu, they now stopped and asked me to remove my clothes. I said, why should I remove my clothes? He said, Oga, this thing we are doing is, this is work, and you know how this work is. We are sent to do this, so you have to cooperate with us. So for me to save my life, I said, okay, what do you want me to do? They say I should remove my clothes. Before you know, they removed my clothes and said I should bring my hand. I brought my hand inside the vehicle. They now handcuffed me and then took picture of me, and then one of them sent it to the same Shaba again and came back and said, Zamudoka video, my video. That means let's do his video. They now did the video of me and went back again and sent the same video to the same Shaba, who is the CSO, to the governor of Imo State. At this point, I say, why do people want to humiliate me? What have I done to you people? If people invited me, I would have come. What have I done? When we got to Enugu, we stayed at Enugu airport for more than 1 hour, 30 minutes. And they were communicating with somebody who was coming with the flight, and they're communicating with the same Shaba who was telling them that this person will call the people. They were speaking now, that we have not seen them, we don't know where they are. At this point, I gave my everything, my life to God. I say, God, whatever that happens, let your will be done. And when the flight landed, they now told me, Oga, passed through the airport, everybody was looking at who is this criminal that was caught. Later, there was no invitation, nobody called me. I was humiliated, I was handcuffed as a common criminal, that if there was an invitation, I'm not a criminal, I would have come and I would have answered the call. He said, Oga, but you have not. I said, nobody invited me. When we got to Abuja, they took me straight to STS office, Tactical Squad office. And at that point in place, the IG now intervened and sent somebody who came, and I was interviewed. I put down my statement. And with the scenario, with what happened, I think the Inspector General of Police was not properly briefed. Everything, all this drama happened inside Government House. All the security men that came for this operation were security men attached to the governor of Imo State. Masked, all of them. There is nothing to identify them. They came with a truck, a military truck, that is part of the governor's convoy. They came with a Ford Jeep that is part of the governor's convoy. All of them masked, discredited the house of God, shot in the house of God. Even when I was telling them that I'm here to for the church service of my mom, they didn't listen. They scattered everything and left with me. Gentlemen, I want to thank God, because I don't think that their intention was to arrest me. Their intention was to eliminate me. Because if their intention was to arrest me, I know the normal police proceeding. It would have been bringing me to the police command, and then put up a report that I've been arrested, and from police command, and then they will not take me to Abuja. But it is not the duty of security men attached to the governor of Imo State to arrest or interview or do anything when it comes to issue of a criminal. It is the duty of this commissioner of police and his team to arrest. So what happened was a calculated attempt to eliminate me. But I thank God that God spared my life. And today that I'm alive, I want to thank Almighty God. I want to thank the media, especially the social media and the print media and the electronic media, for coming out, because when they saw that the thing has gone viral when we got to Owerri, they had no choice than to find another way to quench what they planned. And I don't think it was intentional for them to take me to fly me to Abuja, because the flight came 1 hour after we got to Enugu. So their intention was never to take me to Abuja, because there was no invitation. They even told the IG that they sent the invitation to me more than 3 times and I refused to come. There was no invitation. I'm a law-abiding Nigerian citizen. All my life as a chief of staff Government House, I have never been into any criminality. I have never sponsored any militant. I have never sold gun to anybody. So when they said I was selling gun to some militant, I was surprised. I was chief of staff for 4 years. I was commissioner for. I was deputy chief of staff for 1 year. As if I'm a hardened criminal. and my pictures were sent on the media by the same Shabba. Because the question I want to ask, who authorized that my picture on a handcuff be sent into the media? Because I know the IG that handled this matter in Abuja, a professional policeman, did not authorize them to send my picture in a handcuff. So I'm pleading to the Inspector General of Police, who I refer as a good man, to please use his discretion to find out who sent my picture with the handcuff on the social media, to find out who paid for the private jets that came to pick me from Enugu Airport, and to find out who are these men that did not respect God, that did not respect the altar of God, the altar of place of worship, and they invaded church premises, shot inside the church. Is a sacrilege. Is a desecration of God's house. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank God that I'm alive. I want to thank God for sparing the life of those church members, the pastor, the venerable in the church, and also my wife and my mother-in-law, and all other people in that church. It would have been a different thing altogether. But for me, I will always thank God. But Inspector General of Police should please, sir, please, I beg you in the name of God, make sure that this incident does not stop at this end. We should know who gave this order and why police attached to a governor should be the people arresting somebody of me, of myself. And also the video I saw on the internet where they were saying somebody was saying that Uche Nwosu gave him money. That video, the same video, the same guy had the first video 1 year ago where he did not mention me. The same with blood on his t-shirt. The same guy wearing good clothes and putting towel on his body. After 1 year, came and say Uche Nwosu is the person giving him money or giving some people money. You see, and if you listen to that voice, the person that was interviewing that man on that video is the CSO. That's the voice of the CSO to the governor of Imo State. So, government has become where you get criminals and interview them and doctor and tell them what to say in order to implicate their political opponent. So everything that just happened was political. The police, the IG, for me, should be exonerated from this. But the security men attached to Governor Hope Uzodinma should provide information why they abducted me and why they wanted to kill me. Thank you.
Yes, my wonderful people, na don hear the matter as dey go. Na so e dey be. Anybody wey stand for their way, they go find a way take clear am comot. And na so our politicians dey run their game, and na so our country Nigeria take dey go. But my own pain come be say, if say na layman, if say na poor person na this thing happen to, you know say that person own e don go, because you go see say the media no even fit carry am. Because you go see say the media go regard say this person no dey important. But why media take carry this one, and the power of media come affect the thing well be say because say na top person, and we don see as e waka be and as he take come out for the whole issue. So na be the thing wey dey talk say the layman, the common man, they no get their say for our country Nigeria. And we dey see over and over again say na wetin dey happen to them, na so they dey come, they deal with them, they do with them anyhow. Even the people kaka wey feel say they go protect you, now they go be the person wey go even deal with you. So my people, na so the matter be. And I make Nnamdi Kanu talk am early, say e go get the time wey go be, wey go reach, say these people they go dey near you, they go dey close you, and if you dey on their way, they dey ready to take you out. Na so they go still tag them unknown gunmen, because as we hear, they come, they cover their face, nobody know who them be. Na be the country wey they talk about. My people, thank you so much for watching. May you no forget, say this na constant word. Now here we dey bring update, also dey react and also share. No forget to like or share or subscribe. If you never do so, drop your own comment. Wonderful people.